All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Peter with another edition of Dollar Bin Digging. I'm going to follow up last week's Shang Chi Master of Kung Fu theme topic with another one this week. We got a trailer release this week, and I'm pretty excited. It looks pretty darn good to me. So please like, subscribe, hit that alert button so you don't miss anything, and hang on there for a second. I'm going to get right into the books. All right. So as I mentioned, we're sticking with Shang-Chi for one more week. I I really like that trailer. It's got me super stoked. I can't wait for September to get here, and maybe that'll be a movie I actually go back to see in the theaters now that I'm all vaccinated up. That being said, let's just get to it here. I mean, again, it looks like it's going to be a fun film. I don't know. It looks like it's tackling a lot of different things, a lot of different topics, different ages we might be hitting. It's a lot going to be going on. I think they didn't actually give us a whole lot in that trailer. I think the bits that they did show us are probably like mostly from maybe the 15, 20 minutes of introduction of where, Shang-Chi kind of is right now in his normal life. And yeah, it's probably going to expand from there. So I don't think they gave us a lot in that first trailer yet. But what they did give us has me definitely excited to see this film. So going down through the list, I'm going to go back to a topic which I said I didn't want to cover last week because there's just too many sisters to really cover, but I'm going to try to hone in on one of these. So we're looking at the Xialing character here, who's playing his sister in the movie. Now, there isn't a straight connection to a character directly in the comics as of right now, but maybe we get something. When I first read the name Xialing, all I can think of was the NXT wrestler, Xia Li. That's first thing that popped in my mind. And I don't know. Maybe they should have cast her because, she's actually pretty good. That being said, the closest I think to match her up with somebody, I think would be Sister Dagger. That's just visually going off of the tiny little bits that we've seen. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm just going with Sister Dagger. And she first showed up in the 2020 Shang-Chi #1. Now, I realize this is a new book, not a relatively new book. It's only a few months old, but this was heavily ordered. There was like 75,000 copies printed, multiple covers. I think cover C heated up that first week when it came out. I like the In-Hyuk Lee, the B cover as well, but that A cover and B cover, there were plenty to be found. It's just everybody was chasing that third cover, that C cover, and then there's plenty of variants and incentives to go along with it as well. But there were a lot of copies of this, so this book has already found its way in some of those cheap boxes because it's overstock. I mean, stores couldn't sell out all the copies they had of the regular issues because they just ordered so many. It was a new issue, and it's based on a property that was getting a movie made. So they ordered a lot, and there are a lot to be had out there. So if you look, this could be found out there in those cheap bins. So in that book, there's a lot of first appearances in it. Now, there's also Sister Hammer, who is also one of Shang-Chi's sisters, but I'm not seeing the connection there. She's a bit larger, a bit larger on the larger side. So I don't think that's going to be her when you compare it to the actress that they actually hired. And then if you look at Kwai Far is another sister that he had from the comics. And she first appeared in this Black Panther book, this Black Panther 11. And she only showed up in that one issue. She was basically just in that issue being offered by Shang-Chi's father to, T'Challa as take her as, your wife, and, your children will rule Asia and Africa. But that's the only appearance she ever had. So I don't think that's her either. She didn't show a proclivity towards martial arts in that. She was just more, raised to be a queen, I guess you could say. So I don't think that would be the sister that they're going to go with. Now, Fa Lo Sui, I don't know if I'm saying that properly, is another sister from way back, but she goes all the way back to Master of Kung Fu 26. And this is a character that actually goes even beyond the Marvel stuff, and I just don't see that as being the one they're going to go with, with either. So I'm really leaning more towards this Esme, the character, this Sister Dagger, as a more relevant, newer introduction. They introduced her in the comics. Maybe they did so for this purpose. I don't know. I understand the names don't match up, but I'm not going to 100% lean into the names that they give you on these title cards now because we haven't even seen the movie. We don't even know that's the actual name they're going to use in the actual film. It could just be, a false lead. Who knows? So that's just an out of left field kind of like pick of mine. If you find this book for cheap, just grab it. What the heck, right? So moving on from there, I would look to see who could Awkwafina be playing, right? Yeah, she's a very popular actress these days. She'll, be pretty good in that kind of Darcy role, given the comedic relief, for the Shang-Chi film. I think she's going to do a good job there. But it's already been said that she's not based on anybody in the comics. So there's no comics to kind of base her off of right now. Will they introduce her, as a character in comics down the line? Maybe. But right now, there's no one to pick for her, to go and hunt. So I'm going to go lean into Michelle Yeoh's character because we know she is also in the film, and I think she's going to play a relatively important, if maybe a small role in this film. So hear me out and what I'm kind of, things I've heard and things I've also seen and what makes sense to me. But looking at some of the frames inside of that trailer, you see, this ancient fight. Like, this doesn't look like a modern day fight. This to me looks like an ancient fight between an old Iron Fist and possibly the Mandarin, because this looks like it's going to span centuries. This story, like the Mandarin is being given long life by these 10 rings, so his character is probably pretty ancient at this point. So we're probably going to see a lot of history and a lot of flashbacks dating back to things that the Mandarin has done over all this time and building this criminal empire that's stood the test of time because he has. So going all the way back into like the 1200 BC era, whatever it might be, we might see ancient Iron Fists and things like that introduced. That's my thinking, that we're going to go back with some of these flashbacks and looking at that character's get up with the green and yellow. Obviously it looks a lot like characters we've seen in the ancient immortal Iron Fist. Now this one here that I'm showing here, this was a Bai Ming. That's obviously a male, and the character that's in the movie is a female. Could they gender swap? Obviously they could, but we also know there was also the Pirate Queen, the Pirate Queen Iron Fist as well. So perhaps she's playing her. She was also from ancient times, and her first appearance was in Immortal Iron Fist 2. Now this is a great run. This is a fantastic run by Brubaker, Fraction, and David Aja. It's get any copies you can if you can find for cheap. I would highly recommend getting all of them. But this one you want to pay special attention for because it is the first appearance of that Pirate Queen character. And again, maybe that's who she's playing. Maybe she's playing an ancient character that we're going to see flashbacks to. I don't know. It's just something that I'm thinking about. It's just a possibility. And there's actually a pretty cool second print that is not that easy to find for that issue 2 as well. It's got her kind of spotlighted in a panel on the cover and mostly black, so it's probably going to be hard to find in high grade as well. So this movie, again, is just got me super stoked, and it's going to be covering all kinds of, I think, time. Look, you look at those flashbacks with the Fu Dogs fighting. It looks like an ancient war. These aren't current times. And the Mandarin, shots in the Mandarin with the long hair, that looks like he's in ancient garb. It doesn't look like modern times of him sitting there. So I think we are definitely getting flashbacks going back through history, which has me super excited because I feel like that opens the door to a character all of us want to see, and that's Fang Foom. I realize he's not a real dragon. He's an alien, but he's still a dragon. And I think that would be awesome to see on the big screen. And I can't wait. And obviously, Strange Tales 89 is Fang Foom's first appearance. You're not finding that at a dollar bin, but just for informational purposes, there's his first. But something you can find on those cheap boxes is Iron Man 261. And that's Armor Wars 2, which is kind of unrelated, but in this storyline, this is where we start seeing, the story of the Mandarin going to basically wake up Fang Foom. You see him journeying into the mountains and the giant door, and perhaps this is something that is going to be a goal of his throughout the movie. Like maybe he wants to go and reawaken the dragon to, basically control the world. I don't know. Maybe something to that effect. And again, this is the issue that starts that hunt, or that quest, I guess, for the Mandarin to awake the dragon. And Fang Foom, is basically meets the Mandarin, and they start this storyline here in this issue 261, which continues on for a few issues, and then they kind of come back to it again later on in the Iron Man run with the the Dragon Seed, which is another great little story as well. So all things and topics that they could definitely cover in the movies and just swap things out. Maybe it doesn't have to be about Iron Man. Maybe now it's going to be, Shang-Chi's deal to deal with. I don't know. It's just something I'm thinking of as a definite possibility and something I kind of hope to see. So this is more of a hope list. And again, these are cheap books, cheap buy-ins. So I'm not saying, go buy everything, but it's just something fun to look out for when you're out there digging. So hopefully you're enjoying this, and let me know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that alert button, and I'll see you guys, next time.